In today's VOD review, we will go over a fan who's Gold 1 and is playing as Omen. That's here. But before I tell you what can be improved in each clip, I'm gonna play with none of my own input and I want you to try to see what can be critiqued.
93 race.
On the pistol round, Omen should have capitalized off that flash. Omen's flash is one of the most powerful in the game as you can't turn from it, you have to move. All utility should give you some sort of advantage when used. It shouldn't just be thrown around with no purpose. This is a common issue with players in plat and below. The whole reason for all utility is to give the player who used it the advantage. Why would you let that opportunity go to waste?
Blinding.
Spike planted. Placing sentry. Last player standing.
This is another instance of not capitalizing off of your flash. Not only should you always capitalize off of your flashes, you have to choose the right time to use them. You need to pick your flashes in the same way you pick your fights. Only use them when you know you can gain something out of it. You can't flash top mid and peek with a shorty because you think you need to capitalize off of it. And even though nothing came out of it, Omen did a good job using that Marshall shot onto the Killjoy turret as an indicator to peek out of the smoke. If she had a better weapon or some shields, it could have been a different story. It was the same outcome as if she had done a bad play, but the execution and discipline was there, so good job in that aspect.
Stealing sight. Shadows traveling.
Our Omen should have waited a bit on that flash onto the Raze in B main. There was no real indication of her pushing out, and all that was shown on the minimap was Raze in the doorway of B main. Had she actually been pushing out, it would have been a good flash. That was a very wide peek into mid after getting the pick on the Raze in mid. It's very common for attackers on Ascent, after showing presence in B main but not committing, to rotate through mid since the rotate through T spawn is a good 15 seconds longer.
Shadows
The fun begins.
Raise is A.
Shit.
At the start of the round, Omen joined the community Discord server, subscribed, and followed my Twitch. Maybe you should do those things too. Omen held that angle onto top mid from a very bad spot. It's in between that mid cubby and market. Both spots have their pros and cons. From market, you have more options of where to go and watch, and are safer, but you can't watch the entirety of that top mid peak. From that bottom mid cubby, you have that full angle onto top mid, but you can't exactly escape as easily. That spot Omen died from was poor because although yes, it does give that full angle onto top mid, there is absolutely no cover and the scope of the Marshall evidently blocks any view of enemies coming into mid from tiles. Omen also got tunnel vision on the enemy top mid and walked up a bit to get a better angle, probably not even realizing what she was doing.
Oh, they're going A again.
No way.
cover going out. Blinding.
On site.
Nice.
Good job, Katie.
Don't throw flashes just to throw them. Like I said earlier on rounds 1 and 2, flashes are supposed to give the flasher an advantage. When Omen threw those flashes from behind those boxes, all she did was give her position away. She kept her cool when the enemies at door were flashed, but don't let that fool you. She should have peeked earlier right as the flashes hit her enemies.
Heavens. I have flank.
Heaven. He's heaven.
Alright.
One enemy remaining.
I shall.
When pushing into garden like that, or turning any corner for that sake, make sure to equip your weapon fully before peeking it. It takes no effort at all and can cause all the difference. Carelessness and habits can be the difference between a Plat 1 player and a Diamond 1 player. I wouldn't comment on this had her teammates not called out heaven,
Heaven's.
but the fact that there was an enemy close made it all that much worse. Our Omen often starts off rounds on the CT side, very far back in a passive position that allows the enemy to make progress towards the bomb sites. She also smokes very early, and that makes her peak late at the start of the round. Smoking early should be done when someone wants to push up towards that area or wants to hold it better. It's not something you do just for the sake of doing it. As I stated earlier, all utility in this game is for the purpose of giving the user an advantage. Make sure you get what you paid for with your smokes. If not, big utility is running a monopoly over Valorant. This was a very odd VOD review as I didn't really know what to say throughout the whole match, but something always fell off to me. What I think is happening is that our Omen is making a lot of the wrong decisions, but didn't necessarily do the things she chose incorrectly. She went down the wrong path, but ticked all the boxes. A lot of this game was also just flat out missing shots. What I would recommend is you working on your aim. Maybe go into the range and find some routines to do there on YouTube. You could also practice in DMs, or you could go do aim labs or Kovacs training. You can find good routines for aim labs or Kovacs on YouTube as well. There's one more round I'm going to cover, and I'm putting it at the end for a reason. There's some odd habits and mannerisms that you should try to spot out here. Her overall movement is also a bit odd.
Don't
Shadows traveling.
make a noise though.
Mid.
Like, what the fuck?
They don't know, Omen. They don't know. They have no clue. Raze was A.
Carrier is dead.
Ah!
Spike down A.
30.
I'm putting this round at the end because this round basically sums up what I said earlier. It seems like she doesn't really care about her rank. She's running around aimlessly a lot, staring at her teammates, and a lot of the time she's not really doing anything. And I know that that's not the case since she sent this VOD to be reviewed. She obviously wants to rank up. What I would recommend is trying to be more present, and what I mean by that is being more aware and always be doing something. It doesn't have to be fighting or peeking, you can just be holding an angle, sitting in the corner listening for audio cues, but just do anything useful.
They don't know, Omen. They don't know. They have no clue.
Congratulations! You wasted a total of 46 seconds doing absolutely nothing. This was a Gold 1 VOD review, but if you're not in Gold just yet, check out this Silver VOD review to help you get there.